Hi everyone, my name is Dee Roussel, also known as Deja, and today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog. I have a 4-day weekend and I am so happy to not have to go to work. Not that my job is bad, I just don't want to go to work. And so for this vlog, I'm not really planning to do anything special. I really just want to read as many books as I can during these 4 days. It's going to be a super chill weekend and it's super muggy outside. We just had a huge storm. I'm just excited to literally just pretty much do nothing this entire weekend and just read a book. And I might do a little bit of cleaning here and there, but for the most part, I'm really just going to be reading whatever my heart desires. I did end up going to the library and to get my nails done before I even sat down to film this intro, and so you probably saw that B-roll before, but I did want to show everybody what I got. I ended up getting a lot of stuff from the library. I bought some from their used bookstore and I checked some out from the actual library. Since I did not buy as much stuff, I will start with what I have bought from them and then I will move into what I have checked out. I am super happy with what I got from the library today in terms of what I bought, but then also what I checked out. But in terms of what I bought, I feel I snagged some really good deals. And the first book that I got is A Chance of Heart, and I've never heard of this, but I've heard of this author, and so I'm curious to know because I've never heard of this specific book from this author, and so I thought this would be a very interesting one. It seems more like literary fiction. It's about this woman who was part of a organ transplant, black market thing. But then that woman ends up dying. So then the woman that ended up getting her heart ends up trying to connect with her husband or something, or I don't know, something messy like that. It's a lot of family dynamics, I think, and just focusing on Indian Americans and I don't know. I just thought this would sound very interesting, and plus I really like this cover, and so I got this one for 50 cents. Next book that I have is actually one that I recently read and I found myself still really enjoying it after all of these years, and that is Shorty Like Mine by Nini Simone. And I really wanted a copy of this because even though it doesn't really stand up in terms of time and a lot of things, I really liked how the author really delved into things that teens go through, but in a teen way, if that makes sense. And so there's a discussion guide at the back, and just by those questions I knew that the author was really focusing on trying to tackle these things, but in a way that a teenager would literally see it. And so I really respected it for that. Now, whether or not it stands up for time, I don't think so. And I will say that I don't really I don't know. I can't say that I like her or not, I don't. But I have so much nostalgia for this book, and so I wanted to get a copy, and I was super happy that I found this at my library just because I did really enjoy this as a teenager, and I can see myself rereading it again for a third time. And so yeah, I'm happy I found this. Another book that I got is Afrofuturism by Itasha L. Womack, I want to say. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I think this is just short stories that are Afrofuturist, or maybe it's an essay collection. I didn't really look into it that much, but I think this will be very interesting, especially because I am more into Afrofuturism. I really do enjoy exploring those different worlds and stuff that Black people make, because I feel not to say it's more creative, but it's definitely different than what you're usually getting. And I don't know, maybe I will say it's more creative, because I feel that's a whole essay for another time, so I'm not gonna delve into that. But yeah, I'm really excited that I got this for $1, I want to say. I think it was $1. And then another book that I got for $1 is Their Eyes Are Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. And I almost didn't pick this up because I think I have a copy. I really hope I don't have a copy, but this is in such a good condition that I was just I'm going to get it. And if I already have it, I now have 2 copies, and I will give one to somebody else. So I definitely wanted to pick this up. I wanted to participate in the Zora Neale Hurston readathon, but that has not been happening. I don't think I've read not even one book by this author, and so I definitely need to pick this up soon. And then 2 books that I was so happy that I ended up finding is Shuri by Nettie Okorafor. This was $1, and I was just like, seriously? And it's in like such good condition. Like, I'm so happy that I found this. Like, Shuri, literally, I've never read it, but like I'm just so ready for it. And this will be like, I think this will be like my 2nd or 3rd graphic novel comic. I think my first comic, but maybe, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But like, I'm just super excited to have this. Like, I really love like the Black Panther movies a lot. Like, they just touch my soul in a way that a lot of other movies haven't, and I'm really happy to have this. And the last book that I got, which I'm so happy that I got like a lot of them, is Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark. I got this for $2, and I was just like, seriously? I almost did not go into like the teen section where I found this, and I'm so happy that I did, because this is not YA, so I don't know why it was there. But since it was there, I'm glad that I found it, and that I went into that aisle, because this story is like, it still haunts me. Like, P. Jelly Clark is like one of those authors that like, he's just so good at like writing. And while I did not like the characterization of Black women in this, I definitely just, the story overall just really called to me. And yeah, I'm so happy that I found this. And now moving on to the books that I checked out from the library. The first one that I have is Life and Other Love Songs by Anissa Gray. And I picked this one up on a whim. I don't really know what it's about. I'm pretty sure that it's like a family saga a little bit. Like, I know that like one of the male figures in the family, he ends up disappearing, and I think that they're exploring that. But other than like focusing on the family, like dealing with his disappearance, which I don't even know how this man is going to disappear. I'm really hoping it's not anything like racial trauma, but yeah, we're gonna see how this one goes. On a lighter note, I have Mickey Chambers Shakes It Up by Cherish Reed, and I picked this one up only because like I don't think I've ever read a book where it's a Black woman and a Latino man. And so the guy is a bartender, or he owns a bar from like his late wife, but he's not doing so well in terms of the business, and I think she's a college student and working at the bar but doesn't really know how to do any like drinks or anything. And so yeah, this will be like an interesting dynamic, I think. And then I also have Remembrance by Rita Woods, and I picked this one up because I've heard about this book on Comfy Cozy Up's channel, and it sounds like it's going to be a tough read, but it also sounds like a beautiful read, and so I'll be curious to know what I think about it. And I think this is also a Caribbean author. It takes place in Haiti, I think, or something like that. I'm anticipating this to be a very emotional read, so I know I'm not going to get to it this weekend because I just want to chill. But yes, I have this one. And then I picked up a few middle grade books. The first one is The Braid Girls by Sherry Winston. I picked this up because I read Wash Day Diaries this year, and I just really liked the female friendship in this one, and I feel like I'm getting those same vibes but just in a middle grade girl setting. And so I am so ready to like dive into this, and honestly I might pick this up this weekend too, because it just seems like it's going to be like a very light read that I'm just excited to try out. Plus these little girls are just, like, they're just so adorable. Like, I love it already. The next one that I have that's middle grade is Paradise on Fire by Jewel Parker Rhodes. And I've heard of this author as well. And I was hesitant to pick this one up because it deals with a young girl that had her parents die in a fire. So now she goes on like this camping trip or something. And I think she is helping her friends get out of a fire, but also dealing with like the grief and like the traumatic event that killed her parents while this is all happening. And so I think this is going to be another tough read, but I trust this author. I haven't read anything by them, but like I've heard nothing but great things about Jewel Parker Rose, and so I picked this up. Another romance book that I picked up is In It to Win It. And I picked this one up because I know that it's gonna be so petty. Like, it even says in the description that the real estate love interest guy is going to be like petty, maybe even better, but like he's still gonna do it because he's just like, he doesn't like that they broke up, and like I don't know. And so I feel like there's gonna be a lot of like banter back and forth between these two, and it's a second chance romance. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. And then I found this one called Children of the Quicksands, I'm sorry. And I picked this up just because the cover, like this is giving me New Orleans vibes, and I am so here for it. Like, it actually takes place in Lagos, so maybe not, but anyway, it has like Yoruba mythology and stuff in it, so we'll see how this one goes. I haven't heard anybody talking about this, so I definitely wanted to try it out and just see. And then one that I heard on another channel called the Rae Chronicles by Rae. She talked about The Accidental Queen, and I picked this up because I really like the A Princess in Theory book, and I think that this is kind of like similar. She actually really enjoyed this one, and so I definitely wanted to try it out, and I'm glad that my library had a copy. Plus the girl on the cover is just gorgeous. So the next book that I have is Promise Boys, and I tried to get my sister to read this, but she wasn't really feeling it, and so I'm going to try it because I feel like I'm going to really like it. I feel like this is going to be like Ace of Spades, but maybe a little bit lighter than that, because Ace of Spades was very something. So Promise Boys will be very interesting. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but I'm excited to have it checked out. Kind of along the same like horror thriller vibes, I have The Spite House by Johnny Compton, and I've heard about this from like 3 different people, I want to say. I remember hearing about it from Beautifully Bookish Bethany, and from Miss WLC Reader, and from Between the Reads. Between the Reads did a author interview of this, and so I definitely wanted to try this out. I feel like I'm going to be scared, and I'm not excited about that because I don't really do horror, but I've heard great things, and so I will try it out, but if it gets too scary, I'm probably not going to pick it back up. And then I have a nonfiction book that I checked out, which is Black Girl in Love with Herself. And this is a like self-growth, personal development book. And I have never heard of this, but I don't know. Lately, I've just been feeling very, I don't know, not apathetic, but like it's like simmering below that I'm just maybe a little like depressed or something. And so I don't know, I picked this up maybe just to get like a little bit of comfort, or I don't know what I'm expecting to get from this, but yeah, I checked this one out. And then I picked up some street lit because I have just been loving just the drama in some of this stuff, which is why I reread Shorty Like Mine, and then the Red Roses and Regrets trilogy or series that's not complete yet, but I'm waiting for. And so I decided that I'm probably going to do like a reading vlog at some point of like some street lit books, and so I checked out these. The first book that I have for that potential vlog is The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier, and I've heard nothing but great things about this one. I think this is the first book. I really hope that it's the first book, but if it's not, I will have to get a different one. But I picked this up because this is literally like a staple. I don't know how I'm going to do like a street lit book. I don't know how I'm going to do like a street lit reading vlog if I don't have this book, because like I don't know, like this is literally like a staple in the genre, and so I'm glad my library had a copy, and I will be picking this up soon. The next one that I got is The Score by Kiki Swenson, and I've heard of this author, and this feels more thriller-y than like streetlit. I'm not really sure like what to expect from this one, but it is a lot shorter than like the other one, and yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see like how this goes. I think this author is a very well-known streetlit author, and so yeah, this will probably be in that vlog. And the last book that I have, which I only picked up because 2 people that I really trust with their reviews have picked it up, and one of them is still currently reading them, but the other one is one that like they've read it and they've really enjoyed it, and that is Animal by Kwan. I don't know what I'm going to get with this, but I'm excited. I'm very excited. And so I have no words. I just really hope that I enjoy it, and I think my library also has the rest of the series because I saw other books by Quad on the shelf by them, and so yeah, I'm excited for this. But those are all the books that I got from the library. I'm probably going to read a little bit now. I was reading at the library earlier, but I'm still in a reading mood, and it's just so like muggy outside that I just want to keep reading. And so yeah, I'm gonna probably go downstairs and read next to my husband while he does his work, and yeah. So I have finished Where the Black Flowers Bloom, and this was actually a huge disappointment. I don't know, I'm really struggling with this. Like I said the last time that I mentioned this book, I'm not sure if I'm not vibing with it because I'm not the right age group, or if it is kind of like an actual writing thing. I think I mentioned that like there wasn't a lot of details, and I think it got a little bit better with that. But I think my overall problem with this book was all of the characters were just kind of bland to me, and I'm not going to say that the whole plot was like bland or anything because it's a middle grade novel, so I'm not really expecting anything like well thought out. But like, I don't know, like I just don't think that this was fleshed out enough, and so I'm either gonna give it 2.5 or 3 stars because I finished it, but like I was really just finishing it because it was only 200 pages and not really because I was enjoying it. And so usually a 3-star read for me is a book that I thought was like pretty average, and this one I feel like it's a little bit less than average just because it wasn't as fleshed out as I wanted it to be, and I just don't think this is maybe a good representation of a middle grade. But yeah, definitely not a book that I would recommend for now, but I guess, yeah. The next book that I'm planning to read is The Perfect Five by Tia Williams. And I said that I was going to read one of the other books, but this one is due at the library pretty soon, and so I figured I would pick this up. Plus, I have had very mixed experiences with Tia Williams. I only read the author's 7 Days in June, which I did not think was a romance, but I think I liked the writer's style overall, and so I'm very hopeful for this one. And the movie actually just released, and so maybe I'll watch that, but I don't know if it's going to be in this vlog or not because I don't really have Netflix right now because I'm trying to focus on a lot of other stuff. So yeah, I think this will be the next book that I read, but I'm also going to pick up an audiobook, which is The Many Dates of Indigo, because I need to go downstairs and cook, and I'm going to listen to an audiobook while I cook. So first I'm going to go downstairs and cook and all of that, and I'll be listening to The Many Dates of Indigo, which sounds like, I don't know, it sounds kind of basic, but I'm also intrigued by it because like the girl has multiple love interests, I think, and so yeah, I'll be curious to know what I think about it. But I figured I'd pick up another romance book because I like listening to romance books on audiobook for the most part. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do, and then I will jump into The Perfect Five. Right, so I am here to close out this vlog. I didn't actually end up finishing The Many Days of Indigo, even though I had it on audiobook, and I was also like 75% into it. I just wasn't feeling like picking it back up after I was listening to it while I was cooking, and honestly it just feels very basic, like a basic rom-com, which isn't like a bad thing. Like I just was not interested in continuing it, and it was getting kind of predictable as well. And I don't know, I might just also be not in the mood for rom-coms anymore because I've been reading a little bit more of them lately. But I just, yeah, I DNF'd it, and I never even started The Perfect Find. And so I don't think that this 4-day reading vlog really turned out how I thought it was going to be. But you know, like, I'm still happy that I had the chance to literally just read what I wanted all weekend and not really have to go to work. It was definitely a nice 4-day break. And even though I ended up giving one of the books 2 stars and not even finishing the other one, I am really happy that I had this 4-day weekend, and I'm hoping that in the future I will also have another one. But for now, I will wrap up this vlog. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and hopefully like you get a 3-day weekend at the very least in the near future. Thank you for watching my vlog, and I will see you in my next video.